It is time, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the OS World Cup 2019. And it is time for the final weekend, Grand Finals weekend. 3 teams remain. But we'll start off with seeing who will be joining the USA in the Grand Finals. It's the showdown between the UK and South Korea. This one, oh boy, this is going to be a massive one. Tense for both teams. I am Doomsday, and joining me in the casting lounge today is the man that needs no introduction, really. He is the connoisseur of one rolls and the Team USA bedrock. It's Toy.
Good morning, Doomsday. Good morning to anyone in North America getting up early enough to watch this nail biter of a match. It's looking to be one of the strongest, one of the closest of the tournament. Both these teams having such a strong history, such a strong showing in this tournament so far. You know, United Kingdom making a strong run through the winner's bracket, South Korea getting knocked out early and making one heck of a loser's bracket run, now trying to secure a second place spot. How do you think this is going to go?
It's a really hard one to call. Like, it's kind of a crazy dynamic, actually, because, as you mentioned, UK have had the full run through the winners bracket before dropping down at the hands of the US in the winners final. Whereas South Korea went out early to Australia in a really early round, and very good matchup. But since they dropped down, they've been a steam train plowing through the losers bracket. They are on a 6-game win streak in the losers bracket, by the way.
Yeah, they were knocked out by Australia, who was then knocked out completely out of the tournament before Korea was. And Korea now from the losers bracket beating Japan, France, Taiwan, Brazil, Russia, and Germany, 4th and 3rd places of last year's tournament, and now in a guaranteed top 3 spot, which is incredible. Wild performances from them.
Yeah, it's like every single team they knocked out there was super formidable. I mean, top seed either this year or in past years. All of those teams.
Yeah. And what's interesting is you look at the roster and you're surprised. You're not surprised, right? You see all these players and they're tournament veterans. They're fantastic solo players. A lot of, like, Gomo has been in World Cups since like 2014, 2013, and but when the tournament was starting, you didn't hear a lot of people talking about South Korea. It was always Brazil and Canada. Poland is coming back, and Germany's gonna make a good run for it. And then South Korea, almost against all odds, and yet at the same time, completely unsurprisingly, is clinching a top 3 spot.
Yeah, they flew under the radar somewhat. It's kind of strange because this team's always had a strong lineup. There's never been a year where South Korea has been weak per se, but I suppose they've always tended to fall short, right? Because even though they are South Korea, you know, the very scary sort of esportsy country, they haven't had a finals appearance since 2013. Back then, Kirikaru and Dungeon were still playing for them. It's been a very long time since they've had a finals appearance, and the only 3rd place they had between then was in 2016. So, yeah, it's for this new team, it's uncharted territory for these guys. Like, none of these players were playing in that 2013 team, I don't think, right? I don't think Gomo was playing then. Or was he?
No, he wasn't. Trying to remember. Yeah, I remember Gomo mentioned something on Twitter about this being the first time they've made it since then. Like, the first time he on the Korean team has hit top 3, and it's if you compare it to how well South Korea has done in other modes as well. Like, this year, South Korea has made it into the top 3 of all 4 World Cups, which is impressive in and of itself. But big big moment for South Korea, at least in OSA standard for this year. And they're not done. They're not ready to go out just yet.
Nah, I don't think anyone will begrudge them a good shot in this matchup. Of course, they are having to take down the runners-up from last year in the UK. And the UK definitely have some work to do, don't they? It's all about the big mental game for these guys after, well, last week's demolition by you guys. It was quite incredible to watch you guys play last week in that US versus UK winners bracket final. So it is up to them to bounce back from that, and they certainly have the individuals to do it. I'm not doubting these guys for a second to bounce back.
Not at all. I mean, this is a team that lost one of the finals week last year and then still came back to nearly take the entire tournament the next week. So I don't think that their mental game is at any point like completely lacking. You know?
Like I say, if anything, from what these guys did last year, it was certainly one thing they know how to do is run it back, and very intensely so. I mean, I was playing in that one, and it was quite incredible. Not for a second did they believe they were out of it at any point. They fight for every single point they go for, this UK team. Of course, a lot of new names here this time, looking to prove themselves, and they've had some good performances. But of course, I imagine they'll want a bit more than what happened last week, and they would have worked tirelessly to make that happen. I can tell you that for a fact. These guys would not have just sat on last week's performance. They are definitely be coming into this with much more fire. Excited to see what they do on this Grand Finals map pool, which of course we'll talk about in a moment when it gets brought up. But man, it's a hard map pool.
Last year's it's a new week, but it's also a new map pool. And I would say that this year's Grand Finals pool is significantly more difficult than last year's Grand Finals. I remember last year we were seeing a couple FCs here and there from like some of the stronger players. Like I remember Wobbleman FC'd a bunch of the Grand Finals map pool maps, both in their match against Germany and against the US. We saw some FCs from Hallow Watcher and Dust Ice in the Germany loser bracket match. Obviously, there were some FCs as well from the US. So I don't know how many I'm going to be expecting in this pool, though. There's not a lot that are super suitable for consistent FC play, even from players that are like very, very strong in their own respective disciplines within the game.
Yeah, I think they're going to be at a premium, even with the level that we have. FCs are going to be at a premium this round, and anytime anyone full combos a map, it's a notable moment, just on its own, because of how hard some of these maps are.
Yeah, not even just a notable moment, but also probably going to be stealing the spotlight for that given map. Just like running away with the score, because the way that Score V2 works is that if you can full combo something compared to someone who maybe missed once, you're seeing like maybe a 66% like increase in score, or probably 33% increase in score. Like it's a lot.
Just getting the warm-ups underway at the moment. First one, I'm not sure whose warm-up that was. Double check that one. I think it was South Korea's warm-up, so this is the UK warm-up. Two proper warm-ups, it seems. They're not messing around.
The first one was 2-button. Like it had notes stacked on top of other notes, but aside from that, the mapping was pretty normal. At least it wasn't like a joke song. I think they're both needing the time to warm up.
Yeah. Oh, turns out it was the other way around with the warm-up picks. This is the Korean pick. The first one was the UK pick. I see tech map and I assume it's UK. It's habit. It's like the usual UK multi-lobby.
Well, last week they picked a Weihehe map, right? That was a jumpy map.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they picked that one. That's like the default UK warm-up. I think like, that gets picked at least once every year by them. I'm pretty sure at least once. It seems to be tradition.
I'm a little interested in what these teams might ban against each other, because both of them last week decided to ban Night of Fire, which was the double time pick from last week, which is like 230-ish BPM, Air 8 old streams. So I'm not sure if they recognize that each team like banned that last week. So I don't know if they're going to be using that as sort of a means to plan out their picks for this week. But
I think the fear of DT might be a thing for both teams, because both these teams are very good on those double time maps. I think when it came to Night of Fire on Korea's end, because I've had a chance to cast both of the matches they played last week, and in the Russia match, they got absolutely stomped on Night of Fire. So when they played Germany, they just banned it outright. Like against Germany, they banned the maps that they bombed in the previous match.
That's fair, yeah. I'm looking at it, and they had one FC from Ponytail, and the others maybe got around 500, 600,000.
Yeah, it was actually kind of crazy from the Russian team on that. They nearly 4-way FC'd that. It is a very... It's a map that suits their team very well. They did very well on it, but they definitely learned from that previous map.
I have a bit of a theory about double time picks in tournaments. I find that maps that are very mechanical in nature, that like you require fast streaming or like speed in general, most players that can already play it will be a lot more consistent than the players who will be like decent at the reading picks or even the aim picks at some point. Like the more gimmicky a map is, the more difficult it is to be consistent on, even if you are like the best at that sort of skill. Because we see like Germany last week on DT1 nearly 4-way FC'd that as well. I'm thinking it's just if you can play that map at that speed, then there's not much like to be nervous about in terms of like missing on aim. It's all about, can you play that BPM?
Yeah, when you start getting into the higher echelons of speed on gimmicky maps, yeah, the speed definitely takes precedent over a lot of the other parts of the map, and especially when you had things like, say, we had Chaser XX last week, which was a finger control heavy DT pick at a decent speed. Generally, the people that were decent at speed were able to play the weird streams on that fine, but the people that weren't so good on speed were really having problems, even if they're normally good at those sort of patterns. So certainly a few maps in here that do lend themselves to a similar dynamic. I'm looking at maps like, say, Invasion in the double time pool, because that's at a high speed finger control pick.
Invasion's a strange one this week. I'm actually very curious to see how either of these teams will perform. There will definitely be people who will play it like decently, and others that will just like completely cut through it like cheese. But it's a weird one. It's got really fast doubles, some like, I don't know. If you can't play that BPM, it's gonna be really hard to keep good accuracy. I'm wondering how everybody's accuracies will fare, even if they're all gonna be maybe full comboing.
Yeah, definitely curious to see how these maps work out, and I think that this is a good matchup to test this DT pool on because of how strong these two teams are on double time. South Korea have been very, very good at double time. They've had some very dominant wins on it. Although, in the last couple matches, they definitely got their comeuppance a little bit, especially on things like AR8 old map DT, which is something that isn't really present as much in this Grand Finals pool. There are a decent amount of low AR DT maps, but nothing like Night of Fire here, really. Apart from maybe DT2? Midoriga Queen Bee?
That, but already like is mapped in sort of a more modern style. That one's just like I mean, do you see the second section of that map? And it's like extremely finger control, right? It's like quad into double, quad into double. It's so stamina intensive.
Yeah, with it being a bit more modern, it might suit Korea a bit better. But we'll have to see how that works out. I think it'll suit both teams, honestly.
Check out that combo from Zyson, though. That was pretty cool. 1400 on Amazing Mirage. That was cool. I liked that.
Yeah. So Zayson's had some good matches the last few rounds, actually. He's been really coming into these later rounds. He's a bit pot player, but he's been doing very well, and hoping to see him on this pool. But here we go.
Yeah, okay. Let's get into to talking about like bans and picks and stuff. But there was one thing I wanted to mention really briefly, was that, like, feel free to interrupt me as I'm talking, but I was
go for it.
I was very surprised. Korea each year like hosts their own tryouts to see who will play in the World Cup, and Karuna, who is currently on the Korean team, he placed 9th. So initially was not going to be on the Korean roster. But looking at like the last couple weeks, Karuna's been one of the strongest players for Korea. And I was initially surprised that they didn't want to pick him, considering his performance last year, which was also like very strong. So I don't know if I don't want to fault Korea's like picking strategy or what they do to select their players, but I think that was almost an oversight to not initially snag Karuna as quickly as possible. And I want to see how he does on this pool as well.
Yeah, it feels like the last couple of years he's been the unsung hero a little bit. Everyone talks about Flying Tuna and Firebat and Aristia, but Karuna's been the engine that's kept his team going. When the rest of his team falters, Karuna's, more often than not, been the one guy to carry his team through a point. I'm thinking of a couple of points, especially against Brazil in particular, where he did single-handedly finish off a couple of points for Korea. He fills in very well. I feel like only now is Karuna really getting the big spotlight he deserves. He's been such a good player for this team, and I imagine after this tournament, his stock, in terms of community tournaments, if he chooses to play more of those, is going to rise heavily.
Look at his performance last week. He played 21 out of 23 maps and was still the third highest placing member of their team. And you remember Fremod 2, he SS'd with Nomad. He had an SS on it. Like, what? How do you compete with?
Actually disgusting. Like Scorvy 2 as well, and there isn't an SS on Scorvy 1 if I recall. It's kind of crazy, but thing is, can he do it on this pool? I imagine he'll have a decent one, but we'll have to see. And of course, you can see the pool right there.
It's really difficult. The first ban coming out from South Korea, banning Nomad 5, which is Your Disposal, a like 230 BPM, extremely stamina intensive death stream map. Pretty, like, I think it'd be normal for a team to want to ban that if they don't feel strong against it.
Yeah, I imagine South Korea won't want to trust a heavily stamina-intensive stream map against a team that has the likes of Carthy and Spare on it. Especially Carthy. And Moe. Yeah. So, not surprised to see that gone.
You've seen Carthy playing this sort of style, like, pretty often. He'll just be spamming Inferi maps over and over and over without even seeming to drop his stamina at all. Korea, they've got maybe Tuna that can play it lately. I would imagine Ponytail or Zyson could do decently, but if they're not strong against Carthy or Spare or even Bubbleman, who has shown like insane streaming capacity at some points, understandable.
Swift double bans, and looks like Double Time 3 and Hidden 2 banned immediately. Double Time 3 being a alternate style jump map with Double Time, AR10. And then the low approach rate Hidden is gone.
seemingly banned in every match past semifinals. A tragedy, a true tragedy.
It's a disaster. Such a nice map as well.
Hidden 2 does not fill to serve a niche, it serves to fill a guaranteed ban from one team.
Yep. It's there to just draw a ban, clearly.
There's DT2, as you mentioned as well. Both of the very like stamina draining, streamy maps are banned from South Korea, so I think they know that the UK is predominantly pretty strong on streams.
Fearing the feed.
Yeah, UK is kind of more worried about the reading aspect. Because DT3, not too fast if you're alternating. There's no burst. It's just essentially a 150 BPM stream map with a lot of jumps in it.
We're at the point now in the tournament where if you got a stream map, it's got to have a few jumps in it as well. Can't just have a map that's only one thing.
Yeah, like look at Nomad 2. That's meant to be the stream map, but it's still got some bigger jumps and some wide streams, really spaced streams. It's not just can you play this BPM stream map anymore? Though I still imagine Korea would want to pick it. I think that's they've historically liked to pick Nomad 2. They feel pretty confident on like 195, 200 BPM streams. So I wouldn't be surprised if they picked Matthews. Though of course, the United Kingdom would probably still also be able to put up a strong squad against that. So perhaps a different pick.
Yeah, it'd be a bit more of a coin flip, I think.
What do you even pick against both of these teams? I think at this point you just pick what you think you can do well rather than trying to poke any sort of weakness in the other team's lineup.
It simply has to be, right? You got to start with something comfy. Or at least something relatively comfy, and well, it's like South Korea picked their opening gambit.
X-Den by Realizy. A quote-unquote nerfed version of the top diff of this map set. Yeah, I remember hearing the poolers saying that this was going to be one of the most difficult maps in the pool. I don't think they're wrong, but I'm looking at like Hard Rock 2 as potentially the most difficult one in the pool.
To be fair, I think in terms of the general map pool, I think the difficulty of this, with the teams you have, this map isn't going to be a too spooky one for a lot of these guys, at least compared to everything else in this pool. I would agree with you on Hard Rock 2 though. A lot of people have been saying that is the hardest map in the pool, and to be honest, I was expecting it to be banned out, but it is left open, so we could see a reverse later. Very interesting to see how the teams do. No doubt this is a nasty one though. 200 BPM tech mapping. Quite heavily burst stream focused as well, with plenty of 1-4 jumps and spacing variation. Quite a short map as well.
Yeah, surprisingly short. Though a lot of variation in the actual song as well. It's like a mishmash of like 3 different songs in there. I quite like it. I actually really enjoy this map. It's quite a fun one.
This map's class. It's one of my favourite maps as a map in this pool. So much fun. So we have our lineups in.
Starting off strong.
Yeah, indeed. The UK team looking, as you'd expect, Spare, Carthy and Bubbleman in their 3 main players. Morianda are in for this one. Finish off their lineup. On the Korean side, Flying Tuna and Aristia stick in. Karuna, once again, is in, and Zyson will make up that 4th spot. 2 very strong teams here, and you're going to need it. The winner of this goes to the grand final. Don't leave anything that you don't have. One of these 2 teams go out, the other one makes it to the final.
Grand finals map where you're going to start seeing early breaks, middle breaks, late breaks. It's going to be misses all over the place. And you can kind of see on this map pool, or on this map in particular, lots of misses already.
Yeah, as you mentioned, this map pool is extremely difficult. It's definitely the hardest map pool we've ever seen in an OS World Cup, in terms of standard tournaments anyway, by a margin. So FC is going to be at a premium. Any high combo going to be very valuable.
We can see Aristia and Bubbleman both holding strong combos of this pattern. It's a doozy. Both of them hitting it. And Aristia goes down. Bubbleman right after.
Well, the double's coming out though. Karuna's the only major combo on the Korean side. Carthy though holding well to hold him off. There goes Karuna.
Carthy still holding strong with 700 combo. You can see the UK's combo. Oh, he's missing that 1/3 triangle pattern, but he's held out strong and giving UK a slight lead. Very slight though.
Yeah, they still have a little bit of that combo advantage though, ever so slightly. Just by a whisker. Small advantage via Spare and Bubbleman. Flying Tuna and Karuna with the big combos there. Spare breaks, it's advantage Korea here. They're going to reel him in.
They're not out just yet, and the supporting combos, Flying Tuna and Karuna, still holding on. It's swinging back, but Flying Tuna is still holding in.
Yeah, so is Bubbleman though. It's Flying Tuna and Bubble. Last little set of streams. It's so close. Watch the act drops.
Oh, it still stays into the UK's favor. The couple misses right at the end. Karuna and Zyson missing like probably the last note. That was very close though. Look at those S ranks.
Yeah, 2 of them. And the very decent act too from Flying Tuna and Bubbleman. Those two keeping it alive for both teams at the end. And very nicely done too. But it is going to be UK that takes first blood here.
By only 22,000 points, which is next to nothing. It is so small. That is a tiny margin. That is a couple of misses, a couple of hundreds.
So first point here is a break point. UK with the next pick. Very good start for them. Exactly what they would have needed after last week.
Quite an important break point, I would say, to really decide the flow of the early part of the match. Into No Mod 2.
This is what we were thinking. South Korea might have been looking at as a pick because they have liked these in the past, but so do the UK, and the UK will open up with it, the Extreme No Mod map. It's ever so slightly lower BPM than what we just played, 195, but it is focused on big space streams.
Long space streams. If you miss at any point of those streams, you're going to be note locked out of basically the rest of it, which is going to be a huge point drop. It's almost a little risky if you're not completely comfortable on the BPM on any given day.
Yeah, it's either an all or nothing map really, just because of those heavily spaced streams. Both teams have the lineups to do pretty well on it, but even the best players, you slip up once, you miss a whole stream, you lose all of that axe score, you lose all that combo, your score is hard. Kind of brutal.
Good to see Voss swapping in for Moe Yandere. Firebat in for Zyson on Korea's side. Pretty expected. I think Firebat's been going in for basically most, if not all, of the stream picks and almost nothing else.
People were mentioning this being the beep song. When I first played this, when I was looking through the map pool, I didn't notice it, but now I'm listening to it. Yeah, those are quite prominent.
Vinx has actually made an edit of this song without the beeps that players could download. So they didn't have to listen to it. Yeah. It was commissioned by Monko2K, who was so fed up with the beeps.
Oh my god. I think I'm realizing I'm deaf. Wait, first time I didn't even notice they were there. Now I do. I don't blame him, to be honest.
I don't mind them.
It's another relatively short one. Just ever so slightly shorter than the map we just played, so it's only just over 2 minutes.
And you mentioned earlier that none of the picks are going to be like strictly streams or strictly aim. You can see in the beginning, look at these patterns going into the space streams now. Players already missing on the jumps earlier. And you can see Bubbleman missing one of those streams. He missed maybe 6 or 7 notes just because he was off of the one.
Oh, Voss missing the very end of that stream. That's unfortunate for him. Minor advantage to Korea, although that break might flick things over, I think, somewhat.
Though with Spare breaking right after, Korea's still got a strong lead.
Yeah, it really is strong now. Easier part as well. Relatively free combo. Short map, so that advantage is going to run away pretty quickly. Still a nice big combo on the UK to combat. So there is room here if Carthy holds on.
If Carthy holds on and Aristia and or Karuna also drop, though, the longer they hold on, the bigger the score gap is going to become. Map is almost over. It's maybe 3/4 of the way done. Oh, look at Firebat missing essentially that entire stream.
Still in Korea's hands, though. Big stream here. Oh, Karuna's still got it.
Karuna's held on strong. Carthy, though, as well for the UK. What did I mention earlier? Look at Karuna standing strong. But also 2-100 FC from Carthy. This is his domain, essentially.
Yeah, that's actually bonkers. What a great play there from Carthy. It is his home ground, though. He knows what he's doing with these sort of maps, and he's showing it again. He's so consistent on these. But it's not enough. The team performance from Korea, too strong. And that's a break point in the other direction.
Yeah, this is why I thought that Korea was going to want to pick something like this. This is typically what they're known for, is the stream picks. I at least I would always notice that they would want to pick Nomad 2 very early.
Turns out they didn't need to pick it. UK was going to pick it for them. There you go. Gotta say though, it was a really good performance by him, especially via Carthy, but like I said, just some of the earlier breaks kind of nicked them. There was a couple breaks in the jump sections between the streams as well, which kind of stunted UK a little bit. But it was all really in Flying Tuna and Karuna's party score, really.
Yeah, Karuna missed a little early and then FC'd the rest of the map.
So after that, either team are going to be too comfy with what's next, but it looks like we're going straight into Invasion.
Oh, woo! We're also talking about this one.
Getting the habaneros out, because this is a spicy map.
263 BPM, AR 10.3, highly finger control. I'm excited to see how they'll do on this.
Yeah, this is definitely a high-end double time map.
Though, interestingly, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but...
Oh, no, it's fine, go on.
Interestingly, also, probably the easiest map to play if you're not a speed player. Like, it doesn't have, like, it has two maybe, like, like medium-sized bursts, but for the most part, it's just finger control and some stamina.
Yeah, like there's a few like 8, 12 note low spacing streams, especially before the drops. But for the most part, it is very doubly and triply, the more sort of rhythm focused on AR 10.3. Which at this point isn't going to be a problem from any of the teams. The AR is not going to be an issue.
Looking at the players in the lobby, I don't think the BPM will be much of an issue either. Maybe just in terms of tripping them up. If they kind of mess up one of the patterns, it'll be hard to come back from it. But in general, I think most, if not all, of these players are comfortable around this BPM.
Yeah, no problems there. We see Majora coming in for the UK here. One of their double time mains. Done very well so far when he's come in for these sort of maps. Been a solid 4th player for them to have. We are seeing Carthy step out though. No Carthy in for this one, but Meriandera seems like a like-for-like replacement for these DT maps. Also seeing Ponytail join in for South Korea. He's also done very well on the DT maps as he's been in. Solid utility player.
Korea's got to be at least somewhat strong on this, considering it's their 2nd pick of the match.
Yeah, you'd imagine there's going to be at least a little bit there. Or it just could be a case of getting it out the way, but surely they must have some faith in this.
I mean, in a match where you can almost expect it to go to tiebreaker if things go well for both teams, why would you want to get something out of the way if you're not feeling 100% confident on it? Early miss from Spare. As well as Bubble Man. But you can see the ACK lead for the UK kind of kept him in for a little bit as Ponytail and Zyson are dropping below the 90% threshold despite their full combos.
Yeah, that's the thing with this map, especially because it's generally higher OD as well. It's less about holding ACK and more about just holding combo through some of these.
I mean, you see Bubble Man with the highest accuracy at 97, though he's missed a couple times. Flying Tuna with the strongest score out there at 95%, still holding a full combo. 3 FCs at the break for Korea, and yet the score lead is not much.
Yeah, we're passing the halfway point now. The second half, very similar to the first half, slightly different in style. Map by different map, but basically the same. But at this point, with this slow part, that is a massive combo advantage, even if you take the accuracy out of the equation here. Big combo advantage here for South Korea. And well, yeah, no wonder they picked it. They're looking very impressive on it.
Arisia does miss on the burst that we were mentioning earlier, but Flying Tuna and Zyson still holding up. Though Tuna does go down, Zyson the only high combo left for Korea. Though Spare's built one back up.
They're all building up. That's a big advantage for UK here. They have a window of opportunity, but this is a hard part as the client slows down. But here we go.
Could it be enough to swing it before the map closes? It's looking like it. Look how quickly the UK is actually building that score lead.
Yeah, they absolutely are. Breaks from South Korea, and there we go. It's right over back in the UK's favour. Very nice comeback.
That was Spare right there. 820,000 points with an S rank. Missing early, but finishing off strong to give the UK that advantage right at the end.
Yeah, it was on his back as the biggest combo, but they all had nice combos. Bubbleman, Meriander, and Spare all had really good combos in the ending, whereas South Korea crumbled a little bit. All those big combos fell, and they gave UK the window of opportunity. Don't give them that. They don't give up. And that is another breakpoint. We haven't had someone winning their own pick yet.
I think the biggest killer on this map was the accuracy, because despite some bigger combos, there were 2 Bs on the Korean side, and no one under 93% for the UK. That really like was the difference. Now the UK following up as well with another double time pick. It's Star River.
Well, the double time pool has not taken long to be used up. This is the last one open. And very early on in this match too.
The UK probably thinking, if we could win the first one, why not just go for another? We're warm for it now. It's about the same BPM, though this one a lot more streamy, a lot more bursty, a lot of triples, a lot of like 9 to 12 note streams.
Yeah, much more about the stamina end of things. Whereas the last one really wasn't that stamina intensive apart from a couple of the little low spacing streams. This one, much more intense on that regard. It's also AR8 double time, so some density to deal with as well, reading wise. This is a Delis map, Shiroha Mamami map. So you expect lots of shapes and geometric patterning. But it's pretty comfortable in terms of the aim. But there are elements where some snappy aim is required on this high speed, as well as the constant barrage of stacks and streams. You gotta say, this is the kind of map, at least the closest analog really to the stuff that South Korea was banning the last couple of maps. There was Midorigo Queen Bee, but this map with its slightly more awkward angling might also be kind of similar to that, whereas this is something the UK should be very good at on paper. This lower approach rate, fast double time map. So we've seen Carthy return to the lobby, swapping out for Majora here. Looks like we've seen the same lineup play this one for Korea though. No swaps there, I don't think.
Yeah, it's actually, I think Aristia swapped out for Karuna now.
Oh yeah, of course, my mistake. Yeah. Karuna swapped in for Aristia.
We might see accuracy be a big factor in this map as well. I think Korea pretty strong on these sorts of maps, but always with a much lower accuracy than their counterparts. When you think of players like Carthy or Spare, you can always count on them to hold really strong accuracy on these sorts of maps, even if they do miss somewhere in the middle. Early lead swing to Korea with 3 FCs still on the board. The only one left for the UK is Spare.
Yeah, he's the one you'd expect, but he is the last one standing, and it's a really strong run from Korea so far. Easier part here slightly. Doesn't last very long though.
More misses from the UK, and it's not a long map. We're already halfway through, and we've still got 2 full combos on Korea's side, Flying Tuna and Zyson. I mean, we mentioned the accuracy. Flying Tuna holding 93 compared to Spare, who has a cool 98. Carthy 99, actually.
Yeah, he's recovering well as well, so his score's going to start mattering more and more if South Korea find a choke here. Oh, there goes Carthy though.
This looks like it's healthily in Korea's favor. Despite a miss from Zyson, Flying Tuna has held on strong to counter Spare's impressive accuracy. Great performance from Korea all around. And another break point.
They're just trading blows here, these two. And well, actually, we've got to say, we were talking about how FCs might be at a premium. We've already seen a few, and there's 2 here. Flying Tuna and Spare. Incredible stuff from those 2. But yep, as you mentioned, team performance is king. South Korea have that one.
Though it is still, in a way, fulfilling my theory in the fact that the couple maps we've seen FCs on are the ones that are more mechanically difficult. You know, Matthews and what was it? Star River now. Both of them requiring a lot more finger control or speed rather than any gimmicky picks. I'd love to see some of the players try something like Fremont 2 and see how many FCs there will be on something more reading heavy.
Well, this matchup keeps trading like this. They're going to get into those picks sooner rather than later, you'd feel. This pool is going to start dwindling down, and then you're going to have to start looking at those picks you were second guessing. A lot of the maps we've seen have been, well, you know, the ones that you'd think people would be quite comfy on. I mean, what's left in that regard, you know, in terms of mechanically intensive, fairly speedy maps? Apart from the Hard Rock 1 and No Mod 1, sort of default standard maps, right?
Potentially just Holy Orders, which, if you want to single tap it, is 272 BPM. Or Mirage Garden, which is a lot more finger control, but does have some long, like 1/6 bursts. Outside of that, we're seeing just aim, some alt patterns, and then the rest is like reading heavy. Korea effectively banned out two of the biggest mechanically intensive maps.
Oh,
woo! Here we go. Now we get to see. We get to test my theory.
Yeah, we'll put it to the test now, Toy. Time to see.
6. Guardian of the Village by Jenny. Also, I believe, was nerfed. One of the patterns was nerfed for this pool. But AR8 and cut streams, they don't go well.
Yeah, like this might not be an AR8 hidden, but it is plenty hard on the reading. Lots of varying spacing streams, very complex stream shapes.
Imagine maybe DDM would want to play this for Korea.
I definitely expect him to come in for it. He has played some of the AR8s with no mod in terms of like free mod maps. He is their hidden go-to, but he has gone for the low ARs in the past. We could see him here.
Though at the same time, looking at his performance on TFC last week wasn't too strong in. You got 272,000. Yeah, we can see Tuna is coming in for Korea. UK trying to find a lineup at the moment.
Yeah, this UK team does have a decent low AR lineup, but no doubt they have banned a lot of the AR8 hiddens.
I'd imagine
like,
AJT?
Yeah, surely AJT should play in this. There he is. Voss as well. Hopping in for this one. Solid utility player in Voss. Very solid no mod player. AJT really good at the tech maps, and he's got excellent reading. Often a mainstay for the low AR hiddens.
AJT rolling a 40 on int. We know what that means. That is a 40% chance to int.
Oh man, or maybe it's 40% chance to not int.
We'll Either way, those are not good odds. I would not place a bet on either one of those odds.
Just roll the dice. Play it brave, dude. You go all in on a 2-pair.
This is the kind of map like you do kind of have to go all in on. You have to be extremely confident in your playing of the pattern, or else you will miss. You can't kind of like half try some of the patterns in this. You can't slow down your aim to try and hit all the notes. You just have to be confident and go through all of them. Sometimes if you're playing a map with a lot of aim, you can try and hit some of the notes late to make sure you get them all, or focus extra hard on certain notes to make sure that you're hitting them. But on a map like this, you just have to be confident in your movements. No, there's no room for nerves here. Here we go.
Ooh, immediately a break there from the UK. Voss missing a burst. This is where the map starts to pick up now. The middle will see the hardest pattern in this map. Big stream in the middle. We'll see it a bit later. Anyone that hits that will take a big advantage through.
I see, like, players already missing a lot of these patterns. Spare holding an SS, Bubbleman still FCing as well. It's just Tuna for Korea, but like you said, the hardest part is still yet to come.
So far so good here for UK though. Slightly easier part, of course, this being AR8. Everything is easily droppable.
Another one of those maps where if you kind of mess up one of the patterns, you're going to be seeing a lot more misses in the rest of it. It's hard to come back from a miss in any of these patterns.
1/3.
Solid by Spare and Bubbleman.
Yeah, all those FCs holding really well, but here comes the hardest part of the map. There goes Spare, 1 FC to 1.
So Tuna goes down, so does Bubbleman. Basically everyone missing that pattern.
AJT got it though, he has a bit of a combo. So did Karuna, but he does lack a bit of combo. But those two will take a bit of an advantage through, but it's advantage UK here.
Being knocked a little for cursing, but you can't curse a pattern like that. That pattern is cursed.
Yeah.
That pattern is inherently cursed. I could have said nothing and everyone would have missed.
It's basically spaghetti, that stream. That was actually nerfed from the previous one as well. It used to have a back and forth in it, in the middle of it. Like a back and forth part of the stream. This nerfed version is certainly hard enough. But AJT clearly thinks it should be harder.
UK with a slight advantage, at least in terms of already having a bit of a lead. Kind of a combo reset right there in the middle. Though, some misses from AJT and Bubbleman might give it to Korea. Gomo dropping as well, but it's three pseudo FCs. FCs from the cursed section.
Yeah.
Down goes Spare as well.
Yeah, they're starting to drop one by one. Korea is holding on and they are reeling in the UK. That stream claims everyone on the UK.
Risty and Karuna, though, hit it, and they've now taken their point back.
Yep, cursed stream number 2. And South Korea win that one handily. And there's a bit of this map to go, but there's no combo on the UK to combat this advantage.
Not a lot of bigger patterns to miss on. If you could hit that, then you kind of have the rest of the map sealed away for you. Some good showing from Bubbleman and Spare early on, but the team performance from Korea outweighing that of the UK.
They take the lead. They have
this
a
is
point
what I mean.
ahead.
This is what I mean. You're not going to see FCs on these sorts of maps in tournaments. The lowest miss count is 8.
So it shows how hard these maps are, no doubt. But it is about taking those little combos through the individual sections.
Absolutely.
Just a little bit more from the South Koreans in the end there.
It's not only just hitting some of the smaller sections in the middle, but it's also not completely dying on the bigger patterns, because the more you miss, the more your score actually goes down. You're not just not gaining the points, you're also losing points. So you kind of go backwards if you're missing big patterns.
The next map's in, and it is a classic. It's the classic Holy Orders. Free mod pick, picked by the UK. I love me some SSH. What a tune.
Just this map in general is wild. This is like from 2011, I want to say. 2010 probably, actually, if I had to guess.
It's something like that. It's notably dated now. And the mapping definitely shows it. This map's probably the map that's aged the most. An LKS map, very awkward patterning, weird aim, and some very strange rhythms on AR9 high speed. Now,
Yeah.
I do feel this one's the one that's aged the most. The other two maps in this are very like linear, ulti style maps. But this one has like weird angles and stuff, right? I mean, I don't know if you'd agree, but
It definitely does. It has some strange patterns in there. It is 2012. It was approved in 2012, but it is also notably probably the least FC'd map in the pool that has a leaderboard, because it's been 8 years since it came out ish, and it has 3 leaderboard FCs. Aristia, Raruchi, and Spare with a Hard Rock FC. So we might be seeing Spare pull out Hard Rock right now.
certainly possible.
Who do you bring in on Hidden for this? I think that's the question for both teams.
Someone who is very confident. But a longer answer.
Either someone who is very confident or someone who is there just to be the sacrificial lamb.
I don't think any of these two need to be sacking someone on a map like this. As hard as it is, I imagine a lot of these guys can get decent combos. There are parts in this map where you can get a healthy combo before hitting a nasty, nasty part.
Instead, we see Karthi with Hidden, Hard Rock, Flying Tuna matching him, and then DDM and Bubble Man on Hidden. HDHR is a statement.
It really is. But I feel like it might be down more to these players just... They don't mind playing Hard Rock with Hidden. It's pretty natural. So it might just be a case of 3 points for not much difficulty gain for these two. But even then, like I say, this map is scarce of hidden Hard Rock leaderboards. It looks like Flying Tuna has the highest hidden Hard Rock himself. He has a healthy 900 combo on it. Slowly but surely. Spare will catch up.
Ah, where did the music go? There it is.
It's hiding.
Now we found the rain and the sword sharpening.
I think Spare's having some issues. We'll get confirmation on what's going on there. But in the meantime, hold tight. It might be looking like an abort. I think it is. Yep, we are aborting and we are going to be restarting here. It looks like Spare had some issues.
Spare had some problems earlier. He was, quote, getting banshowed, as Bubbleman had said in the lobby chat. So it might just be on Spare's end this time. And going into Holy Orders after you've picked it and you don't have Spare to play it with you, that's a big handicap for your team.
Yeah, hopefully he's not going to be having any extended leave from this match. That would be a big blow to the UK. But I imagine once he's got his Bancho issue reset, he's going to just join right back in. Fingers crossed anyway. We'll soon see. Give him a chance to take a breath. Take a moment. So while we're hanging on for Spare to sort out his issue, I'm just going to mention, of course, that as awesome as this match is as a standalone thing, this isn't the only thing we're going to be showing off this OS World Cup 2019 stream. There is going to be something else after this. Now,
banners, go buy the banners. Please buy banners. That's where you were going.
well, there's that too. Pick up the banners. support the teams. These 3 teams need everything they can get in terms of support and love. And if you want to show that love, feel free to pick up some banners from the off store.
They're not up anymore. You can't buy a
ban. Oh, they're not? Oh.
They were limited time, and now if you didn't buy one, you can feel bad that you never did.
Well, now you can go on to the store and wish you bought them sooner. There. How about that?
Anyway, sorry, I didn't... There is something special right after this match, so stick around.
Yep, stick around after this match. Actually, I have no idea. We'll find out together, chat.
Looks like UK is desperately trying to wait on Spare coming back. If he can't, I think the UK will have to play the pick without him, which, like I said, will be a big handicap on their part, considering Spare has a Hard Rock FC on this map and is probably arguably the most comfortable on it, just looking at the leaderboard, and considering Bubbleman and Carthy are playing it with mods.
I mean, to be fair, the UK team do have a decent enough backup roster that for a no-mod player, I imagine they could have a decent player in for it, but it's certainly not ideal. You'd think they'd want... Maybe Blue could have come in for this, but I don't think Blue is available right now.
Is he not here?
I don't think so. I'm not sure. I haven't seen him yet. Maybe he's around, but we haven't seen him yet. And I would have thought we'd seen him on some of the earlier maps, but... Well, there he's back, so it's fine. The return of the Spare.
Still depends, though, if his internet's not acting up. He's going to restart his client. Maybe that's it. Maybe this is Peppy's fault. And not the internet's fault.
Yeah, I mean, you can just blame the server. How dare you, server? Why aren't you letting Spare on? Like, I mean, come on. He's been a good boy this Christmas. Don't give him coal in his stocking. All he wants to do is play video games. Okay, so it looks like we might still be getting him in. I think he's just restarting according to Carthy. So hopefully we'll see him in. 3rd time lucky. This is a long delay. I mean, I wonder how the players' warms are doing sitting in this lobby.
I mean, if you were doing well already on the start of this map, and you have to do it again. Ugh. Because according to AJT, he was FCing past the hard part.
Yeah. Which is the intro patterns, right? I mean, there's plenty of hard parts in this stuff.
I would say the hard part is the consecutive 4 and 5 note burst. And then the slider stream, quote unquote, into like a real stream. There's some messed up patterns in this for a 2012 map. They are inherently cursed. They are cursed.
It's just the patterns are just illegal. They're so strange. I mean, on no mod they're pretty reasonable, right? But you pop hidden on AR9 hidden with those quads and 5 notes. Yeah, it's actually ridiculous.
If you showed up in court and the jury was like, "Can we see the murder weapon?" and they presented you the patterns from Holy Orders, they would arrest you on the spot. They would put you in jail, and it would be life. You wouldn't have no chance of escape, no bail. They are dirty.
Yeah, absolutely. You're stuck in the cell with that Plain Asia stream, and that's it.
LKS is going to be sitting in his prison cell, contemplating what he's done after 8 years ago. What's the statute of limitations on mapping a messed up pattern?
I don't even know. How far back do we go? How many counts? Right, here we go then. We are now underway. Spare is now back. Hopefully for good this time. Still seeing the same mod combinations. No changes there, not surprising.
I would imagine there to be one. I also find it interesting to see who chooses to single tap this versus alting it. I think Spare is the only one to opt to go full single tap.
Yeah, it's a fairly single tap friendly map, with a lot of the streams not being massively long to single tap, but modern playstyles dictate you alternate a lot of this. Gotta say, very good starts from both teams, just a couple of early breaks.
As you say that though, both hidden players will miss.
Square coming up here. The hidden players are down though. Ooh, just one player from UK breaking on it, two from South Korea. It's advantage UK getting into the solo.
I mean, look at Spare's accuracy. He's perfectly comfortable on this map.
See how long that lasts now though. Here come the quads. Or at least in a moment.
Yeah, these are the patterns we were talking about. Gotta see who gets caught up on them. Right here. Gomo does go down. Everyone actually, it seems, all the big combos minus Spare, who is still holding an SS through. Woo! Oh, you pulled out the habaneros too early. This is a spicy one. Here's a spicy map.
Oh god.
Spare fully embracing it though.
Carthy though, gotta give him props. He was hitting Hard Rock FCing. He broke on the very end of those quads. Unlucky for him. But I think the spotlight has firmly been stolen right now.
No. You don't. What? Huh?
The hard parts are over, you know. There's a hard part at the end. There's some hard parts near the end of this. But the hardest parts are done.
FCs are at a premium, he says. What? And yet, 3/4 into this map, there's been nigh 100 from Spare.
Oh, don't scare me, Bancho, please. Oh, he's broke.
But he's done plenty. At this point, he's gotten more score than most will probably even see in this map.
Yeah.
He's carried the weight of 2 Korean players on this. Look at the score gap. Nobody else really playing poorly either. Just fantastic plays from Spare. And I gotta say Carthy as well. He's got 600,000 while playing with Hidden Hard Rock.
Those two, Spare and Carthy, such good players on this. Both of them making it work, and it's a big win. Flying Tuna with a good score at the end of that, but nah, this map firmly UK's, and we are tied up once again.
Strong selection from the UK. Spare probably kicking himself that he slider broke. He himself doesn't seem to believe that he nearly SS'd the map.
Like, that slider stream, you don't SS that. Oh, not on Score V2. You just don't do that. That was absolutely disgusting. It's a shame he broke on... I mean, the ending is hard, but that slider stream, that was actually insane. That's crazy.
That was the last pattern. It was like one more slider stream into a very quick burst. It was like a mini version of the other pattern, but kind of catches you off guard. Still though, 755,000.
Well, normal service has now been resumed. Both teams have won their own pick. but it is going to be advantage South Korea in terms of picks if they keep winning them. They get the next pick right now. So break point required to tilt things back in the UK's favour.
Into Mirage Garden from South Korea.
Good old Pomuta mapping. One of the classic, weirder ranked mappers. Personal favourite of mine.
He's definitely got some maps that I've had a blast playing through. I remember Shotgun Juggle. That was one of my favorite maps when it first came out. Oh. I love that one.
Yeah, it's a class map. It's a really cool, like, sort of alternate map. Really cool stacks in that.
And now people are trying to double time it, which I think is wild and should not be allowed.
Either way, try anything, man.
Into this pick, though, this is very reading heavy. A lot of rhythm changes. A lot of bursts, actually, as well.
Yeah, heavily rhythm intense this. Just 1/3, 1/4, 1/6s. All over the shop, constantly varying. With some mild varying spacing as well. I'd say the start and the end of this are the hardest parts. Would you agree?
I would say so, yeah. It's the, I don't know what you would call it. You can't really say a chorus for an instrumental song, but it'll be easy to point out once you see it.
Yeah, the sections, they're full of tight 1/4 jumps, snappy alternate jumps with plenty of little streams between them. In those sections at the start and the end are the hardest parts. The middle part focused more on varying stream rhythm. Very stream heavy center part for this map. It's also slightly higher AR than AR9, but it's still quite dense at times. So density on AR9 is definitely something this map tests a little bit, but I don't think there's going to be any players massively having issues reading-wise on this. But playing it's a different story. Watch the accuracies. This map's hard to ack. But people might get good combos with low ack, but we'll see.
Or high combos with low ack. I may have just repeated what you said. I think I just had a massive brain fart.
Well, I mean, it's true. Hammer it home. You gotta hammer it home. But again, watch it now. Someone's gonna bloody SS it or something stupid.
No, there's no chance. If you SS this map with hidden in a tournament, you will actually, I will pay you. I'm putting a bounty on this match, or this map in general in this round. If you SS it with hidden, I will pay you everything in my bank account. You deserve it.
Here comes big ult jumps. The only FC left is Spare. No, really? Oh, he broke on a stack. No, that's so sad. It was such a good play. He got through all those hard aim sections. It breaks to the end, and now the map starts to wind down into its streamy middle part.
It's just such a difficult map to be consistent on. And this is what I mean, like, if it's a map that doesn't necessarily require mechanical difficulty, but like more reading or gimmicky patterns, like, you're not going to be seeing a lot of FCs on any of them.
One 6 is here.
Oh man, Spare missed like nearly the entire ending of that one. Flying Tuna and Bubble Man holding strong, with decidedly better act coming from Bubble Man. You can see the score difference between the two.
Yeah, it's advantage career right now though with those recovering combos.
It's hard to say that if you're staring down a large combo from Bubble Man to say that you have the advantage at any given point.
Well, yeah, assuming Korea don't blink, I don't think Bubble Man's gonna have any problems comboing this.
No, this is basically his home ground. He missed maybe early, but the rest of it is there for the taking, essentially.
How about Korea, though? Still seeing some big combos from them, but they are starting to break. Their advantage now has waned. Flying Tuna's still going, though.
Flying Tuna and Karuna. Karuna, the unforeseen rock that I was talking about for Korea. United Kingdom has 2 supporting combos, though they're not as high as Karuna's. They're going to need to hold on with that to support Bubble Man in his quest. Oh, he does go down. Flying Tuna now.
That's really early. Not much score difference, you know.
The map is almost over. I don't know if Korea can take it. And Flying Tuna missing, despite Korea staying alive.
Yeah, that's going to be it.
Staying in the UK's favor.
Getting dicey there, but the UK hold on and they take the lead back once again. Break point. Big 1-2. Some very good scores there from Karuna, Bubbleman, and Flying Tuna. Gotta mention that Bubbleman act, though. That is very high for this map. And a high combo, too. Very good score from him. It was on his back during that middle section. A few breaks from the other team members in that middle section let Korea start to run it back. The Bubble Man held the fort. And they've gotten their advantage back.
I think we have now fully exhausted every map that is not really considered either an aim or a reading map.
Yeah, essentially. It's time to get stuck into some weird stuff. And here comes what many of the people have been saying is the hardest map in this pool.
I think in terms of comboing, it's not terrible. There's a couple patterns that are a little questionable, but the rest of it is definitely doable. It's just the accuracy. This is an accuracy battle map, and they like Bubbleman is saying, a coin flip map. Who will miss where? Who will reign supreme in accuracy? I mean, looking at South Korea, I don't know if they've got a very solid hard rock roster on this. I think UK is just kind of hoping to edge them out a bit.
Yeah, I don't feel like this Korean team is a massive hard rock team. They certainly will be competitive on it, but it's not their mod of choice. Probably suits something like UK more. But yeah, as you mentioned, this map, it's so nasty on the act. So combos are going to be king once again. It's a short map too. Doesn't last very long. But I guess a quick word about the map itself. This is a very techie hard rock pick. Lots of woobie sliders. Lots of bursty streams and some spacing variation.
There's one particularly nasty stream in the middle that's like some spaced doubles along a horizontal plane. It is very tough to hit. We might see like 1 or 2 people hitting that. I'd be surprised if more than 4 do.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. You have to snap to it quite heavily. do think many of the players that are going to be comfy on hard rock, as long as they get into the flow of things, they shouldn't have. I don't think it's going to be an 8-person break, although it could be. Now I mention it, it probably will be, but
there's a chance it is. But statistically, we have 8 of the like best players in the game, according to like, well, just being in this tournament at this level. One is surely to hit it, right? Someone's bound to hit that pattern. I don't want to hear anything about cursing the players on it, because that pattern is cursed. It is cursed from the get-go, and you could say nothing, and everyone would miss on it.
So when we get to that pattern, should we just like...
We should just stay silent.
Stay silent,
I don't want any like Arizona standoff, like Mexican standoff situation where people are pointing guns at our heads for causing breaks here and there. We're just going to stay silent. We'll mention the patterns coming up, and then...
Alright. I think it's somewhere around like a quarter in, right?
I know exactly where it is. I'll let you know.
Alright. Hit me up. I gotta be honest though, when I was playing through this pool ready for casting, I played this map a couple times, and I'll be honest, I didn't even notice that double. It wasn't that bad, but I mean, I guess I just got lucky. I just never seem to have an issue with it on my play. I'll play it next time, I'll miss the whole thing.
Don't worry, I'll be able to point it out for you.
It's from the woods.
Got a lot of big sliders. Some players might aim for the slider heads and just completely forego the rest of the sliders just to keep the combo. But if you do that, then your ACK is going to go low. Okay, here it comes. Don't say anything. What? Wait. What? All right, never mind.
Yes.
All right, I'm stupid, I guess. I guess I am bad at the video game.
It's fine.
Everyone can hit it, but then misses like right afterwards.
Well, it's looking very even so far. So far, the coin flip mantra sitting well, but it is advantage UK with a break from Aristia on the slow part. Here comes the ending. More stream heavy this.
This is definitely comboable with decent acts. So if you can hold on to the rest of the map, then you should be seeing quite a lot of score entering your wallet. You can see Voss and Bubbleman actually holding on pretty well with that. Hitting both of those. One more wiggle stream. Bubbleman hits it. Voss goes down. Bubble's the only high combo left.
Yeah, it's gonna bank that. Take that all the way to the cash point. Actually, it wasn't the ending. It was the middle. This is the ending. This is more slider heavy now.
Yeah, it's coming up. But I mean, look at the accuracies. Everyone is like below 93 aside from Bubbleman, who's still only at like 95. Misses all over the board. But if you can hit that ending, like we're seeing Bubbleman do, you're going to see a lot of score.
Yeah, he's doing it so well as well. Incredible stuff there from Bubbleman. That's actually a very good score for this map.
Yeah, that's very solid.
Yeah, very nice stuff. And that's a big win. A decisive one for the UK. And there is daylight. They have 2 points in the lead over South Korea. And actually, I got to mention, that score from Bubbleman is far and away the best Hard Rock score on the map in terms of Score v1 leaderboards. Over 100 combo higher than the #1 Hard Rock score. Very nice stuff.
This is the biggest point lead in the match so far. UK up 5-3. We've seen too many breakpoints in the beginning. We had 4 in a row, and I think now each team has won their picks up to now. UK won Mirage Garden, which was Korea's pick, and now also secured their own, Korea's choice.
They have to run it back now. We have to get through a UK pick to tie up the series at all. They have been so good in this losers bracket, but now they really need to dig deep. The UK are starting to get their head in the game. They're getting something together here. Korea have definitely been punching blow for blow with them, but they need to get some big wins now on a pool that is starting to dwindle. What's really left for them?
Yeah, and when you're staring down performances from the likes of Spare and Bubbleman, as they've been doing so well so far, it's going to be difficult for Korea to stay motivated enough to take the next 4 points, or a couple points at all, really. Into Nomad 1. Unhappy refrain.
Yeah, I was going to say, actually, something like this, or Hard Rock 1, but probably not Hard Rock 1, because they're not really a Hard Rock team, but those sort of raw maps might be a good choice for them. They've been very good at them. Been solid picks for them, and I feel like the UK, it's more of a last resort pick for them. They don't usually go straight for these. I think as far as the pool is going right now, this could be their best bet. Big mechanics test. Quite heavily pattern based as well, but it's pretty comfortable. No mod 1 sort of fair, this big star rating. 7.4 star mechanics, so quite long. Well over 3.5 minutes in length. There's also slightly higher BPM than 200. 205 BPM, so pretty high tempo as well. I was looking at like the Hard Rock 1 and the No Mod 1 in this pool. I thought the Hard Rock 1 is more of a No Mod 1 than this is. Like, Hard Rock 1 feels like a much more standard map. And would you agree with me on that?
Yeah, in a way. I think this map has a lot of kind of strangely angled patterns. At least they don't feel comfortable to play like a typical No Mod 1 would. Got some large triangle jumps, some streams like right after big jump patterns that'll kind of catch you off. But yeah, Hard Rock 1 definitely feeling like a more standard jump pick with nothing, like no gimmicks at all. It's got no flims and feathers attached to it. This is a bit gimmicky for a No Mod 1 pick. You know, take it with a grain of salt, whatever that means for you. But a No Mod 1 pick is still a No Mod 1 pick.
Yeah, it's still pretty comfortable. This map isn't gimmicky, really. It's just slightly less meta than your usual meta jump map.
I would almost say harder in terms of the jumps actually being bigger.
Timo Yanda make another appearance here for the UK for this mechanics-focused map. Seems to be a mainstay for those, as he always has been. I'm a little bit surprised to not see Aristia in for this one.
Yeah,
I'm sure the Korea team know better than I do.
That's quite interesting. We see Karthi and Gomo missing on the slower sections of this map. Also sort of interesting, because I wouldn't consider any of these patterns to be anything out of the comfort zone of these players. And Karuna follows up as well, missing on these like I don't even know how to call them. Like they're two notes stacked on top of each other and then one like completely across the way.
Yeah, it's like a snappy little stop-start pattern.
Into the jump section, Bubble missing right beforehand. Moe Yandere right behind him. Spare as well.
They've all dropped. Apart from Karthi, he's recovering well, but Flying Tune with the FC is going to give Korea this lead in this first chorus.
Zyson was holding a full combo kind of missed later on. Flying Tuna still holding on, but Carthy's trying to chase him down. This is looking to be in Korea's favor at the moment, at least.
Easier part as well to bring some score into their side. Karuna recovering well as well, getting through most of that chorus with a combo.
The two Korean Unas holding the combo strong. Tuna and Runa.
Tuna Runa, dude.
I'm gonna name my next band Tuna Runa.
Hell yeah. Kind of sounds like a Beatles tribute band to me, I'm not sure. It's just the vibe I get from that.
You can see the score gap between Tuna and everyone else right now. Just he's held on for this long. Carthy and Bubbleman also still trying to chase him down, but Karuna has that backup combo. Fierce. He does miss, but Bubbleman does too.
Carthy and Flying Tuna still getting the job done. Final half of the chorus. More jumps. But time running out for UK here. Tuna might be keeping Korea in this.
I think he has. I think if he misses now, he's still kept them in. But
and that's going to be it. Yep, Carthy's down, and that's it.
Oh, wow. Look at the FC from Flying Tuna.
Bonkers, man. Flying Tuna doing what he does best. FC in this sort of heavily jump-focused map, and that is a very nice act too.
When fish fly, they fly high. And you can see, like, just getting one FC, even though maybe the rest of Korea didn't stack up quite as well against the other players from the UK, that one FC really took it home for them. And that was a strong pick for Korea that they needed to kind of bounce back into things. Now they're only down by 1 point, although it is in the favor of the UK. They have the choice now of what they want to play next. What do you think it might be?
Well, I mean, looking at this, Hidden One really stands out to me. South Korea aren't really much of a hidden team, and UK can have some good players on hide and seek. That does stick out as the pick to go for. They could also look at Boot, because of how well 3mod3 went. And sure, it's a more modern, higher AR map. It still lends itself to similar playability and feel. That might suit them. But I would be looking at something like Hidden 1 or 3mod2. I don't think they're going to go for Imagination. They might leave that for a possible last resort.
Thinking like maybe Hard Rock 3 as well. Looking at that and thinking about the players that would be in for it, I think that the UK would have a bit of an advantage on it. I know at least Bubbleman has either close to or a Hard Rock FC on this already on the leaderboard. I think it might be Hidden Hard Rock. But they do go for Hidden 1, opting for Hide and Seek, kind of the smash hit map of the year, which was initially just a Mappers Guild commission by Mirage to map a James Landino track, and it became kind of a community favorite.
Yeah, I feel like we see this map everywhere, and well, deservedly so. It's a great map.
Also,
but it really
the song.
Yeah, it's very different. It's different from the usual EDM-y stuff you tend to see in popular tech maps. It's a unique map for sure.
Unique both in the song being kind of this jazzy tune, but also in the mapping is like it's got these like cut stream patterns that you don't see in any map outside of just this one. It's like very unique in and of itself.
Yep, the Van Gogh, it's in, and well, I do think this is a good pick for the UK. I would agree with you on Hard Rock 3 also have being a good pick, but with this being final pick for UK, I'd feel that Oh no, so it's not Final Book. Sorry,
No,
but like no, it's
won.
not. Yeah, my mistake. But that could be a good pick for their next pick, I should say.
As a final hurrah if they don't win the next two.
Yeah, I'd be a little bit surprised to see something like No Mod 4 and a potential final pick from them. But we'll have to know. For now, if they win this, it's match point time for them.
Yeah, I think this is the second map we've seen DDM on. First one being Holy Orders. He was on Hidden, but I think this is more his sort of tune in terms of the sorts of maps he plays on a regular. You see DDM at the top of a lot of tech map leaderboards with Hidden. So this might be his chance to really shine.
Yeah, we'll soon see.
I would like to say this map probably also wins the award for most unfitting background of anything this year. Though I guess, what would you use as a background?
I'm gonna say I'm not sure what the context is for that. I just accept it at this point whenever I see this map. Oh, it's the Van Gogh map, yeah. Why is it Van Gogh? Because it's called Hide and Seek, I mean, obviously. It's definitely a map that spikes a little bit. The first half, I mean, the entire map is tricky, but the middle solo-y part is definitely the hardest part. But expect breaks all over the shop with these varying stream shapes.
I think it's because Van Gogh is playing hide and seek with his ear. Couldn't find it. And so, thus, many years later, this map was christened by his painting. Oh, early misses from Bubbleman and AJT.
Solid
Korea. Yeah, solid opening from Korea. They've got a nice early advantage, though DDM and Zeisson's the only ones holding on. But there's no one really from the UK besides Carthy.
Well, there goes Zeiss, and the only FC left is DDM, but here comes the solo. Any point he takes now is valuable.
Bubbleman's slightly struggling on this on these patterns. I would not have expected that from him. But, I mean, you've got Carthy backing him up. Oh, as I say that...
How could you?
All right, I will take the blame for that one.
Why?
Lots on that pattern, as kind of expected.
Job done though for DDM here. Very nice combo from him.
Though if they keep missing, they might give it up right at the end. If they keep missing all these different patterns.
Oh, there's Ruby now.
Everyone's
just about, but
oh my gosh, there's misses all over the board from everyone. You can see the score gap kind of closing though. Map is almost over.
Spare breaks. Bubbleman has combo.
I don't know if it's enough, but it sure was close. It sure was close. Korea now back matching the UK 5-5, and they get to pick once more. One last choice from both teams.
My gosh, it's Last Chance Saloon. It's the final showdown. South Korea will start off with their final pick of this match. And we really are at the point where you're clutching at straws in this pool. Regards to what's left, I don't really know what's favoring them here.
Maybe Nomad 4. I would say Nomad 4.
Yeah.
But that might be the only thing. Boot is a little bit of a toss-up, and knowing the UK, I don't think the Korea would seem super confident picking it. Maybe Imagination, but I don't think that that's one that you pick late that you're confident on. I think it'll be Nomad 4, and UK is almost definitely going to be Hard Rock 3. Korea might actually go for Hard Rock 1, because that is very aim standard, and we saw how well they did on Nomad 1, or at least Tuna did. Tuna played fabulously on it, so they might try to go for that. Hope that the UK's aim is a little off at the moment, or at least that nerves are overpowering them.
Yeah, Yeah, that's a big thing at this point. Neither team have really managed to get a big foothold. We had a 2-point lead for the UK, but that hasn't lasted very long.
It was a very slight lead. It was 5-3 at its largest.
Yeah, I would be thinking, yeah, no mod 4. Imagination could be a choice. UK did ban the low approach rate hidden.
It is no mod 4.
And that, yep, that's the one it's going to be. So it is going to be the one we thought it was.
The spiritual successor of Lassay's ranked map, Oka Enbu, but dialed up to 11 is how I would describe no mod 4. You hear that? You hear those little strums? Those are 1/3 patterns about to hit your screen. Little triangle patterns. Woo.
Hit them up with that right angle triangle.
Right angle triangle. We got a right angle triangle coming.
Yeah. Lot of them.
I got a dump truck full of right angle triangles. You're gonna have to hit all of them if you want some points on this map.
Yeah. Last drop the bag of Doritos all over this one, I'll tell you that. Doritos everywhere. Well, at least at some point. Actually, to be honest, this map is kind of different from the last old maps we've had in No Mod, right? Like, the last two have been really heavily focused on spacing variation. But this map's more about straight up linear, almost low BPM spaced streams for a lot of this.
It's a lot of direction changes. And there's a lot of like stacked patterns as well, which make it a little bit harder to read. Not too big of an issue if you played the map a couple times, but at the same time, if you're nervous and you kind of mess up your reading, you're going to be missing large sections of patterns. Because it's really hard to catch yourself back onto a spaced stream, as slow as it is. If you miss like early, you might miss the rest of that pattern.
It's kind of comparable in that sense to Matthias.
Yeah.
You miss a note, you're bugged on some of these streams.
Just most maps where you have long sections of spaced notes. If you miss at any point in those patterns, you're going to be missing a lot. But the map itself is fairly consistent in difficulty, and I think there's a lot of potential for single players to carry their team. You know, I'm looking at Bubbleman and Tuna right now, of course. Maybe Karuna. But there is a chance for large combos to kind of steal the show away.
A long map as well, so plenty of time.
You can see right off the bat what I was talking about with Zyson. 55% introduction to the map. He missed like the entire first pattern.
Yeah, it opens up at 100 miles an hour immediately. But I imagine as the map gets on, players will get more comfortable, and those people that broke start forming combos later on.
Yeah, it takes a little bit to like get into the groove of this map, especially after playing such a like varying styles the entire last hour and a half. Once you're in it, you are in it. You are in Space Stream zone. It's looking a little even at the moment. But AJT and Zyson both go down. Leaving the rest of the team to fend for themselves. Aristia missing large bits of that pattern.
There's the lead over to UK here. Plenty of this to go. And slow part now. Advantage UK.
Both in combo and in accuracy. I mean, you're looking at the 2 or 3, I guess, combos. And, like, Spare is holding 99.5.
There we go. Next tough section. Oh, there goes Spare.
Carthy and Bubbleman still holding on. They're matched by Flying Tuna and Karuna. The Unas! The dual Unas!
Dual wield them, dude.
For a little bit, it was looking a little hard to justify this pick in Korea's favor. But the more that the UK start to miss, as we see Bubbleman, Spare, and AJT all missing there, it's starting to look better and better for Korea. The score lead is going to switch over.
Huge linears.
I was talking maybe 1 or 2 players would steal the show and keep a high combo, but it is 2v1 right now, Korea to UK.
Carthy doing well to hold on through that, but what do you do? 2 people comboing the solo? That is actually incredible to see.
That's fantastic. That's really, really good from them. And the longer they hold, the bigger their score gap. Trying desperately to hold it off against Carthy.
There's still room, you know. It's not over yet. Flying Tuna does break. Karuna, though, it's up to him.
Up to him and maybe the rest of his team to try and minimize the damage that someone like Bubbleman or Spare or AJT even would have with these smaller combos. But I mean, as long as Karuna holds, it won't really matter.
Final stream section here. Oh, Karuna breaks immediately.
Oh no. Carthy is holding strong. Look at the score.
The
score is flipping back. Oh, it's bad. It's bad for Korea. Nearly all of them are gone. All of them miss. It's Carthy. Carthy standing alone, bringing the UK home.
If all else fails, just trust Mr. Carthy, and he will take you home.
With 20 misses, he still manages 900,000 points. Flying Tuna with the sad single slider break. Karuna with 3 misses, and yet it's Carthy bringing it home.
My gosh, Flying Tuna though, that slider break, that's actually a 6 score. Karuna as well, just 3 misses on a map like this is nutty. But it just wasn't enough. They choked at the end and that was it.
It was just not enough from the supporting players. 200 and 300,000 points from Zyson and Aristia respectively. They could have made the difference there. The score gap was only, what, 10,000?
Barely anything.
Oh, never mind. It was 100,000, but still.
Still not a lot. But here comes that final pick. Yep, the Hard Rock 3, as you predicted. Very
pretty expected. Yeah, I think they knew that this was where they were going to go.
Here it is, final map before a potential tiebreaker here. Gotta say, South Korea, they do decently on Hard Rock, but it's not really their stomping ground.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone's holding out for a tiebreaker, but thinking of this map and like historically the sorts of players on both teams, I think it's looking to be pretty heavily UK favored. But this is the World Cup and it is a tournament, and it doesn't matter if you've got better players. If you don't play better in any given point, you're gonna lose.
Essentially it, really.
But I think this is UK's chance to kind of put it away. Move on to the grand finals for the 2nd year in a row.
Yeah. Both these teams playing for milestones. If UK win this, they'll become the first EU team, the first European team to reach 2 consecutive World Cup finals. It's never been done by a European team. Whereas South Korea, of course, if they can win this and then win a tiebreaker, it'll be their first final since 2013.
And what a loser's bracket run will it be?
Yeah, if he goes from losing in round of 16 and then winning 7 in a row to get to the final, would actually be nuts. But to do that, they're going to have to win a tough pick.
They're gonna have to win 2 tough picks. I mean, I guess the tiebreaker's not really a pick, but it's still 2 tough maps.
Yeah. I do think this tiebreaker is pretty decent for both teams, though, if South Korea can get to it. UK will not want to face South Korea on a map like that tiebreaker. They really won't.
I don't think either team wants to face the other on that tiebreaker. It is a difficult map. I almost think it's a little bit stunted towards the UK. Not in the sense that like it's an unfair matchup, but just I think it better suits their roster. But anything can happen. And we still have to get there. We still have to get through this map. The grid mapped Hollow Wings pick.
Yeah. Lots of right angles here.
Bubble Man went out a little early. I don't think that's a case of him not being able to play the map, but it might just be nerves. Spare following up. It's about 2 FCs to 2 right now.
Majora, who came in for this one, finding a break. Just Carthy left. But still 2 FCs. Flying Tuna and Aristia. Gotta say, Flying Tuna has had an absolute flyer in this. Excellent match from him.
We've been here before in the very last map with 2 FCs to 1 against Carthy. And if both go down and Carthy stays, that score difference is going to be no more. And I think it's really up to the supporting combos from DDM and Zyson, that the more that they can support, the better of a chance they'll have, even if their 2 FCs fall. There's one pattern right here that's a little tricky, but they all hit it.
Yep, every big combo gets it. Just DDM with that break there, but he isn't one of the FCs. His team can hold on, but they're not getting very far away, you see. UK are recovering excellently to keep in it.
Yeah.
Oh, but then
Majora does go down, but... Oh, and Spare as well.
Okay, never mind. It's still advantage Korea. My bad, lads. Oh, God.
They were kind of holding off pretty strong despite 2 FCs, but now into the slow section, and Korea still has 2. It's going to be further and further looking like a point for Korea.
Yeah, they have such a massive opportunity. On this pick, they are in the driving seat, but the speed up.
The speed up, it might catch some people. It catches Aristia.
It's the 1v1. Well, not that even. Bubbleman recovering well. It's not a 1v1 at all. Zason as well.
This is nerve-wracking. This is nerve-wracking territory as Flying Tuna and Carthy both combo through that section. You can see the act difference actually favoring Carthy. And the score difference, the score gap is not much. If Tuna goes down, there's a huge chance that the UK just takes it. Oh, Bubble Man does miss. Flying Tuna right behind him.
And Carthy's got it. Carthy, a big opportunity, but he does get the break. Zason still has it, though.
It's Zyson. This is what I mean. It's the supporting combos that if they had those extra players that weren't Aristia or Flying Tuna, they'd have it in the bag, and they do. With a solid, I would say, reverse choke from Zyson.
It is.
It is time. We haven't seen one in a while. It's been a few rounds, but it's everybody's favorite time, aside from the people in the lobby.
Oh, God.
We've made it. We're here.
I need a pacemaker right now, dude. This is not okay.
It didn't look like it was going to be. It didn't look like it was going to be. 5-3, UK led, and they had some decisive victories. But South Korea has come back almost against all odds on some picks that weren't really favored towards them. But now both teams just have to lay it out all on the table in one more matchup. Jonathan LFJ's just stomper of a tiebreaker.
Absolute tune. Fast jumps, very fast jumps, almost 270 BPM. really intense stream sections with pretty tricky spacing to them, and a consistent high tempo. This map does not have a breakpoint in it at all for its over 5-minute length. It is intense the whole way through. Goodness me. This South Korean team does not go down. Ever. What an incredible run these guys have been on, and they have such a massive chance to put together what could be the best losers bracket run we've seen in OWC in a long time. But only if they can topple the UK, and well,
I mean,
I think if last year's tiebreakers ain't gonna buy, I don't know, man. UK are pretty good at these.
I mean, UK being Bubble Man, you got him with a 3,000 combo play on as your arbitrator last year. This is I think they're all banking on him to do well, but after being in the lead and coming into a tiebreaker, it's got to be putting a lot of pressure on the UK to perform right here, right now on this very last pick. Korea might be a little motivated to get it, but tensions run high, and tensions are known to be run enders, tournament enders for some teams.
Yes, who can deal with the mental side the best? And you got to say, the South Korean team, a lot of new guys in this, a lot of people that have never been in this position before. They've got to learn, and they've got to learn quickly. We've seen who's been playing this now. We're seeing some swaps. Karuna joins in. Surely you get him in for this. Flying Tuna, he's been in for every single map.
Aristia, kind of known for holding really strong combos on really difficult maps. Surely he'll be in. And I think UK's roster is decidedly set now. Karthi, Moyandere, Spare, and Bubble Man.
That lineup is... it's as predictable as things get, but it's about as good as things get for a map like this. All four of these guys, amazing at this stuff. Karthi, Moyandere, Spare, excellent speed players, and Bubble Man is, well, Bubble Man.
I think everyone is excited just to be in this point. Whoever you're rooting for, you're just happy to see the tiebreaker come out. The third of the tournament.
There's a mod. Karthi's going hidden.
What? Why? Why?
Because he's Karthi. He just doesn't care.
Doesn't care. It's just extra points. Free points, says Karthi. Oh, I see. Oh, are these handouts? Oh, let me take that. I would love some. Thank you very much. He's just reaching into the tip jar at like some coffee shop. Like, I'll take that. Thank you. Kind of teleported there. That was some client lag. I don't think any of those are real misses, to be honest.
I'm not too sure. I think in terms of his hidden, it's more comfort. This is high approach rate, 9.8. Karthi does like his hidden with this high AR. So it's going to be a comfort thing, not necessarily a flex at all.
I mean, it's definitely comfort. You can see 100% accuracy from him currently. And at any point in this map, I don't think it's going to be fair to say anyone really has an advantage at all. It's just one of those maps where you kind of let it play out and see what happens. Because there's going to be breaks all over the place. Moyandere and Spare, you can see early breaks. But with a map this long, it might even come down to accuracy.
Plenty of time for things to change, but you gotta say, it's a good start here for the Koreans. It's 2 FCs to 1. We're getting into the slightly easier part here. Of course, I say very slight. This map has no breakpoints in it at all. But it is only Bubble Man left in terms of full combo.
No chance for rest, and I mean, even if it's just Bubble Man, we've seen what just Bubble Man can pull off. Flying Tuna misses. It's Aristia holding strong, trying to stave off Bubble Man. But I think it might just be the supporting combos for Korea that will help them out.
Yeah, it's going to do some work for them. They're recovering nicely, Zayson and Karuna. But Aristia, though, a worthy opponent for Bubble Man. But he does get the break!
He slider breaks. And I mean, it's not over for Korea. Like, it's not just Bubble Man runs away with the map now. It's still a very long map. but the longer he holds, the bigger the gap.
Yeah, they're going to start to reel in, but it is on him. Once again, he has to do it.
And in
the
these
captain.
situations, is there anyone better to put your faith in than Bubble Man?
Solo, though. Not all the combos are gone on the Korean side. They got nothing.
Yeah, but it's still they still have the point lead. Oh,
that's
my
true.
lord!
All the
Bubble
combos
Man.
get it. UK take
Will
the
he
lead.
miss?
Here come the image material single taps. Slightly free here. They can make a bit of an advantage. All the combos are gone from Korea. All the major combos are down. There's only one on the field. And well, once again, can you believe this? What the heck?
It's like, it's almost expected at this point, but at the same time, it is so impressive.
Gotta say, Bubbleman, he's had some decent runs, but it hasn't been his best match. He's making up for it now, though, in spades. Give this guy a knighthood.
He might end up matching the points of 3 of Korea's team. He does end up missing, but he's done his job. He's done all he needs to.
There are combos for the Korean team, though. Zason and Flying Tuna, but they
They'll
need
have to
time.
hold for like the rest of the map in order to make a difference right now.
They have a chance to reel him in now.
I mean, they need the UK to just keep missing, like to miss and to keep missing.
Here comes the triangle. Both big combos get it on the Korean team. That difference is closing in. Oh, Zason breaks though. It's only Flying Tuna left. Spare has a combo. He can combat Flying Tuna here. Hold him off. He needs Spare to break. Flying Tuna, it's on his own.
Oh wow, Tuna. The map is nearly closing, but so is that score. It's going to be a nail biter on the tiebreaker that looks so decisively one-sided because of Bubbleman's combo. It is Korea now. Korea's in the lead. It's Tuna. Bubbleman, step aside. Tuna is now the only big combo. Oh, can you even believe it? The map is closing. Tiebreaker coming to an end. Korea is in the lead. Oh no. It's happened.
My God.
Korea with such a decisively emphatic performance from all of them, not even just Tuna. It was an entire team performance. It was a lone bubble out on the field, but a full-fledged army of Korean soldiers has now taken him down. Dare I say, the bubble has been popped.
He certainly didn't make it easy. He was large, he was huge, he was the Colossus. He was a terrifying opponent, but this South Korean team, man. Goodness, and I am a UK lad. I'm obviously biased, and I'm so sad to see my lads go down. But I just can't help but feel so much respect for this South Korean team. This was an incredible run, and it does get its fairy tale ending, because South Korea will reach their first ever grand final in the OS World Cup standard tournaments for the first time since 2013. Back then, Dungeon and Kirikaru were carrying. They were facing Jesse and I Like Mudkips. Old names. They had to beat the UK to get to that final, and they have done it again.
Can we just take a quick look at South Korea's loser bracket run? Can we get the camera on the bracket and just walk through the path, the long journey that Korea has walked just to get a shot at taking gold?
Yeah, we need to just show the people. If possible, of course. But it's been an incredible run. There we go.
Here it is. After losing to Australia in the round of 16, I believe, they went down, faced Japan, fellow Asian rivals, 6-0 against France, 6-4 against Taiwan, 6-1 against Brazil, then facing the fourth place from last year, the third place from last year, and now the second place from last year, eating them up one by one, now to take on the first place of last year. It's going to be exciting, regardless.
Yeah, of course. South Korea, when they played their qualifiers at the start of this, they were 12th. In theory, they are not even a top seed. 12th they did in qualifiers. 12th.
They were not on anyone's radar. I mean, I think some people who are very tuned into knowing kind of the history of the World Cup and played alongside a lot of these teams, they knew what South Korea was potentially capable of, but I'm not sure how many people anticipated them actually making it to the top two when you had titans such as Germany and the UK and Russia. Wow.
Safe to say, this new set of players, they've made their own bit of history now. They can finally put the old guard and their history of winning tournament after tournament in the start of the OS World Cup. Way back when it started, they were the dominant team. Then they fell off the radar. But now, they're on everyone's radar. They are here, and they are against you tomorrow.
They're against me, and
Yes.
only me. I will be the lone warrior.
Yeah, you're against them 1v8. Good luck. Good luck, dude.
Anyway.